Hey, it's D. It's a brand new episode coming right for you, right on the FTO network. Enjoy. All right. D here with FTO Nerd Talk. I'm going live on IG right now, so like always, you may hear some people commenting. You may hear people chiming in, giving their opinions. I'm here to talk about the She-Hulk trailer that we all saw. I'm going to cue it up again on my television while I'm talking about this, just so I can better assess my feelings and opinions about this. If you guys have not been noticing, a lot of people are getting upset about this new trailer. I would say rightfully so when it comes to this trailer, because it does have some problems. I was just on Twitter talking with Frosty of Fukuname, and he pretty much says, he's used to seeing quality of this, from seeing CW shows that doesn't have the most 100% of quality when it comes to TV shows, superhero TV shows in particular. And he also compared it to a movie from 20 years ago. Like, CGI has been bad. We've seen bad CGI. And while the CGI is bad, the trailer itself looks entertaining, which I agree with. The trailer do look entertaining. Like, you get to see Abomination, you get to see Jamila Jamil, a part of the show. We all know that Megan Thee Stallion is gonna be on this, and it does look cool. Like, don't get me wrong when I say that. Like, it does look cool. It's just, this is Sonic the Hedgehog all over again. What's up, Candid? How's it going? This is Sonic the Hedgehog all over again. Like, it just is. It's a really not good start to a show, a new beginning of something that could be possibly great, and it's the fans getting upset and calling it out. Like, they're making a lot of comparisons to Fiona from Shrek, I noticed. If you guys got some questions, you guys want to chime in, leave them for me. I'm going to talk about a lot more stuff too, but this is the prime thing I'm focusing on, is talking about She-Hulk. I mentioned on other podcasts about how there are a lot of shows being canceled and renewed. Grand Crew is one of those shows. If you guys like Grand Crew, it's coming back for a season 2. Excited for that. Super pumped. But She-Hulk is... I needed something to talk about that was different than all the other stories that are out there. And I think She-Hulk is the thing to do it for me. And, we saw, the Thor trailer, and for a lot of us, that was cool. I didn't mind it. I hope, from, seeing the picture with Valkyrie and Thor sitting down with, I think is Gas, or Vaz, the Black Panther. What's up, Dave? Of the Black Panther lore. We got to see some more characters, and they're expanding out the Thor mythos. But seeing this She-Hulk trailer, I'm watching it in high definition. I'm not watching it on my cell phone now. I'm watching the trailer in high definition. I'm getting to see Jennifer Walters do her thing. It looks visually stunning. You get to see Shield. I'm sure we may even see Sword on this. You got Abomination, a part of it. You even get Ruffalo coming back as the Hulk. But I'm not sure how much 100% I'm sold on this. And it really starting to piss me off that this is another property that has a woman attached to it that I'm not liking. Is something wrong with me? What the fuck is going on right now? Because I didn't like Scarlet Witch. I haven't seen Black Widow, and I'm getting upset with myself because either I think MCU is dropping a ball with this, or there's something wrong with me. I don't think there's anything in between when it comes to that. But it is cool seeing She-Hulk on the screen. I'm not gonna take that away. Seeing She-Hulk, yes, 100% yes. Seeing Abomination, yes, 100% yes. Malsey doing her thing, most definitely. Really cool. I don't know. I'm watching the trailer now. It does look a little different watching this in high definition, not on my cell phone. I guess my expectations were too high. I don't know. It looks different watching this in high def, watching this on the television, watching this like watching She-Hulk on your TV screen as like you're gonna be watching the show. It's just like I guess the trailer didn't sell me on it. Although if I'm being honest, the trailer of Moon Knight didn't really sell me either. So I guess there's that. Again, if you guys have any questions you want to throw inside of here, feel free to leave them below. If you guys want to hop in and talk to me about like what you think about this show or the trailer of this show that's coming out in August, feel free to let me know. But as of right now, I just sound like a dickhead talking about a show about a woman and doing nothing but being negative about it. And I see that. So it's a rough go talking about stuff you don't like and narrowing that line of kind of liking it and not really liking it. Like I don't care to see Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I know a lot of you have. I know that that's like the top thing for everyone like to jump up and down about, but it didn't really get me going. But as most of you know, I'm not much of an MCU person, and that could also translate into this also. But I am a She-Hulk person. Like She-Hulk and Power Girl are very similar in their ways, in like character design and like their mythos of story. So is that too Multiverse of Madness? That Multiverse of Madness is just okay? Because if it's just okay, I completely understand that. I'm going to see if I can bring up some more images on here so I can talk about more stories that I have to talk about. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work out for me. It's covering the image of my face to put the story out here. It's always fun tinkering around with Instagram and like what it can and can't do. But there's a lot of different shows coming out. We do have a new voice actor. If you guys check out this is Devin Mack. He's going to be the new voice of Sonic in the Sonic TV show. This is all going to get posted later on my actual podcast. So everything like you're hearing now, it's going to be out there too. Elijah Kelly is the star of Sammy Davis Jr. in a limited series on Hulu. There's a lot of stuff going on right now when it comes to television. Television is, they're calling it the new golden age of TV, essentially. Charles here is saying Doctor Strange 2 is enjoyable every time you watch it, but it's lacking in what some fans anticipated and wanted. And like, that is the main critique I keep hearing about this film, is that they wanted more. I see tons of memes talking about that too. Like, they wanted to see all the X-Men. They wanted to see characters from different Marvel properties. They wanted to see characters that like Squirrel Girl and characters like that inside of this, and just thrown in. And what I could take from the trailer, and only the trailer, it feels like fan service. I guess the trailer and the spoiler stills I've been seeing all over. Spoiler alert. It's funny I can say spoiler alert, even though I haven't seen the movie. Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards is in this. Black Bolt is in this film. They got a lot of characters from the MCU that are inside of this. And I've heard, like, in Charles also said like he just wanted a scarier Wanda. And to my understanding, you guys got that. Like, that's what was delivered, was a scarier Wanda Maximoff. I feel like you probably got what you wanted. Was being terrified of Wanda. I guess what I'm anticipating from this movie, the Doctor Strange film, is a cohesive story. Like I want a cohesive story. I want to see smart characters. I just had a talk with Your Nerd, which I'm going to be posting on my podcast soon, about the DCEU, the Snyderverse, and talking about Batman vs Superman, about how both of those characters weren't very smart characters. He disagrees with me completely. He says like they're both very smart. They both like knew what they were doing. Very relatable to the comic books. I completely disagree with that. And thinking about what MCU has been doing, and like now finding out they're trying to copy the 616 universe, and they are not doing a very good job of doing that, first off. And secondly, they're kind of like negating everything that's in the source material, like even all like the negative stuff about these characters, and they're just not paying attention to that. And I feel like having that kind of mindset, but wanting to do more with these characters is not the best option. Alright, so I adjusted my camera. I changed some things around. This is something I'm really excited to see. It's a vampire drama. Let the Right One In. It's a Showtime show, so it's going to be dark. It's going to be brutal. And it seems like it's going to have like more people of color, more black people a part of this series, and that is something I'm definitely here for. It's seeing more black vampires. Like we keep talking about it. If you're a part of the Twitter community, you know what I'm talking about. Like it's needed. It really is. It's needed. Like we need to see more black vampires. Shazam, the Fury of Gods, telling us that Wonder Woman is gonna make a cameo inside of it. Whew. See, if you guys have been paying attention to like the Warner Brothers news, also, you know that that Warner Brothers Discovery wants to get more of a MCU vibe. So that means throwing in cameos, making more jokes, making it less dark. That's what they're striving for. That's why I'm assuming they're pushing back all these shows, is to get that kind of treatment from these characters. Not that I'm upset by that, mind you. It's just, I don't know. Like I like the edge that DC's been going with. Like I like the Snyderverse just so long as Zack Snyder isn't directing it. How's that? Does that make sense? If Zack Snyder's not putting his fingers inside his creation, I like the universe that he actually did create. And I mean, you know, having Superman snap someone's neck, like it's kind of like hard to come back from that. Having Batman with guns and branding people, it's kind of hard to come back from that. You know what I mean? Like this is like the template. This is the standard that you're setting for this universe. And like once you set that standard, it's kind of like the hard like to dial it back. And it's like, hey, we didn't mean to do all that. No, he's not. He is not playing around when it comes to cleaning up the Warner Media at all. When it comes to cleaning it up, like they say, no, we're not. We're gonna be clean. We're gonna be family friendly. We're gonna get rid of like this dark filter that we keep using in all these films. Like, yeah, they're cleaning up house. If you guys are just joining me, this is D of FTO Nerd Talk, talking about some news, talking about like different types of news throughout like the nerddom. I just finished talking about the CGI of She-Hulk. Whew. Now I'm talking about Anna de Armas. She's going to be starring in Ballerina, the new John Wick spinoff TV show. That is the question. They are trying to find like themselves a Kevin Feige. That's a interesting name. I think it's Black Daddy 50. We're gonna regret saying that out loud. But they're saying they're trying to find someone to be like the head of the DC EU or whatever they're gonna rename this universe, because like the DC EU is associated with Zack Snyder, and I'm not sure they want to keep that moniker going. But the Armas, she was the lead of Knives Out, and now she's gonna be in the new Ballerina show. I'm kind of jazzed for this, because like they're making a show called A Continental also, which is like similar in the same John Wick verse, and like I'm for that. Like I'm all for that. Like I haven't heard anything about how they're getting herself a spin-off series. It will be interesting in like maybe a HBO limited series, like an hour and 15-minute long for each episode, like maybe 5-6 episodes. I will go for something like that. I also say that's the same approach they should do for the Snyder Bros out there who won't stop talking about Snyder and his films. I agree, Megan. She is a very great actor. Like she's on par with everything that she does, and her credits are longer than I thought they were. Like, I had to recheck her out as I was watching Knives Out last night, and like her credits are long, and like I've seen her in a lot of things that I did not recognize her in. So yeah, like she has a impeccable list of films that she's been in, and she's like been stellar, like so stellar that like yeah, she's kind of unforgettable sometimes. So yeah, like I think that Snyder should get like a very limited 4-part series, bring him out once a month, have like his story completely be told, and let us be done with the Snyderverse talk forever. Like, let him get his Green Lantern, let him get his John Jones, Martian Manhunter, let him get all that stuff out, and be done with it. Because I am tired of hearing about the Snyderverse. I'm tired of Snyder Bros talking about they don't like X, Y, and Z. I didn't get my new Genesis film directed by Ava DuVernay because of Zack Snyder. So, or the Snyder Bros in particular. I can't put this on Zack Snyder, but the Snyder Bros in particular, I didn't get my new Genesis film because of that. And I wanted my Ava DuVernay new Genesis movie. Like, and I feel like if we would have gotten that, it would have been more fuel to get a Snyderverse that the Snyder Bros wanted, but they couldn't stop talking about it, so none of that ever happened. So here we are, sitting with our hands in our pockets, waiting for Warner Brothers Discovery to give us something out there. I never watched this show, All American Homecoming, but it's been renewed for a second season. I've seen like the All American show, but I never seen All American Homecoming. I'm assuming it's more like how there's Blackish and then there's Grownish, and this is like the Grownish version of the All American show. I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong. I'm wrong, but it looks interesting. It looks modern, and I feel like also if you're watching the CW, I feel like that's what the CW is going to be rebranded themselves as. It's going back to like the teen aesthetic shows, because I know they know that the superhero bubble is about to pop. And with the mixed view ratings when it comes to the Multiverse of Madness, it shows. As I continuously said, I have not seen the Multiverse of Madness, but I do follow the news, I do follow the culture, I do follow like the fans who talk about it, and from what I see, it looks like a fan service type movie. It's a movie all about fan service. Like, let's give people what they want. But even when they try to do that, the fans still weren't happy about it. At least a majority of them. A minority of them weren't happy. Okay, so Homecoming is the today version of A Different World. I can see that. I can get that. I know I have more news inside of here to talk about with everyone. I recently talked about this. Elijah Kelly, the star as Sammy Davis Jr. He was I wanted Kelly to be Jon Stewart in any kind of Green Lantern iteration, but it's cool to see a new Sammy Davis Jr. Limited series being made. Limited series, man, that's the way they go about it. Like, don't make movies, make limited series. Flesh out these characters. flesh them out. The People versus OJ showed us that limited series where you get to give characters depth, you get to give nuance to situations, you get to talk about a situation of what people and the situation and the gravity of it, what that can give you if you just take your time with it. Like, that's limited series is the way that things are going to be going. We're not going to get like seasons 1 or 2. It's going to be a limited series, few episodes, and bam, something else is going to go. Like, they're going to either give us a spin-off of something with a new character, someone who's like a breakthrough star, or a story that really captivates us, and they're going to go from there. So it's cool seeing this. I'm all here for it. Let's see what else we got. Lopez is producing a Roger Hammerstein Cinderella limited series on Skydance, and as I just said, I do believe that this is the way to go. Like, limited series, like it's open domain. Like, anyone can talk about Cinderella. Here's another thing that, like, I never understood from any other kind of property, like, especially like with comic book creators. And take this advice as you will, but I never understood why comic book creators didn't use public domain characters to put into their stories. It's like putting in a guest star in your comic book and just like using them for a bit, then getting rid of them. So you got like a whole list of characters. You use like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, Frankenstein and his monster, Zorro, Peter Pan, all like the public domain characters. You can freely put those characters in any of your story. Like, any of your story, you can put them inside of it. It doesn't matter. Like, you can use them willy-nilly. You can make them the protagonist. You can make them whatever gender. You can make them whatever race you want to make them. Like, it doesn't matter. I mean, it can get tricky, but like that's the beauty of art. Is for it to be tricky, for it to get tricky, for like you to push yourself with something that you're comfortable with, and then push yourself out of that comfort zone. And when it gets too tricky, you just get rid of it. Like, all right, well, that character's gone. What's next? Use a different character. Use one of my own creative stories. Let's go on from there. And like I think with stories like this and seeing like, you know, other limited series like that a lot of folks are talking about, like, they're tired of reboots and remakes, because we also have this. I think it's still in my phone. I'm almost certain I still have like this. And I talked about this last week on one of my podcasts with Cheesy Controller, and it sparked a conversation in my forums, which is Raymond Lee is coming as the new star of Quantum Leap. As long as they stay close to the character of the comic, they can go willy-nilly with the public domain character, which is the other reasoning why I think like using public domain characters is a good idea. It's because you get to flesh out your character while using the you character, like the Harry Potter type character, or the character that everyone sees themselves as, and keep them the same, but flesh out your character while bouncing off the main protagonist or the more recognizable character. Like I love stuff like that. Like that is my jam and jelly. Since something like I'm familiar with, but like seeing Ron Weasley do his thing on the side, that is like the fun of stories, at least for me. Comfy Cozy just says, like Constantine with Dracula, Frankenstein's monster, and the werewolf. Like, I love it. Like, agreed. Justice League Dark had the Frankenstein monster, and like that was a good series when DC New 52 first started. New 52 started out like they got like the Justice League Dark, and it had the Frankenstein monster, and they brought on Constantine, Swamp Thing, all these other characters like that are part of like the DC universe, but they started out with characters that you were kind of familiar with, but gave them a whole new spin, gave them a different backstory. Like, I think Frankenstein had his undead wife, had some kids, but he was a bad father, and like that was like the whole story of his character, and a lot of people gravitated towards that. But yeah, Quantum Leap is coming to NBC. It's coming back. I'm all for reboots. Like, I have no problem with reboots. Reboots are fun to me. Like, I get why some people don't like reboots or remakes or retellings of a story. I got it. I understand like the dislike for it, but I personally like them. I think they're fun. I think like it's like in the '90s there were comic books being remade all the time, like all the time. There's one comic named Dark Child that got rebooted maybe 3 or 4 times, and the story was always different every single time, and it was fun reading it. The 10th, anything Image usually got remade quite a few times, and I feel like it's a good way to restart a character that like may have some flaws, and just like give a new creator to write it, or say like with DC and Marvel. You get 25 issues with a creative team, a writer and artist, and like you move on to a different creative team. And that's the other cool way of looking at a remake or a retelling of a story. Like it's just handing the baton off to a different person. Like, all right, well, they did their thing. Let's see what this person can do. And like these characters become staples. Like they become like household names. Like the Quantum Leap. At least 1 out of 5 people in the household know what Quantum Leap is. Like what it's a parent or uncle, grandparent. Like they know what Quantum Leap is, and now like they get to share that story, which is why we keep seeing reboots, remakes to the new generation. Like I used to watch this show. There was episodes similar to this. I really like the way they did this with this new episode. I didn't like how they did it with the new episode, but they're still partaking in it. Much like what I was talking about when they came to this. Like it's no different. It's no different than like what I was saying with this here, like the MCU and She-Hulk. Like I'm bringing it all right back. Like I read a She-Hulk comic book. I watched her in the Fantastic Four cartoon show. I think she was a part of both of the cartoon shows actually, and her character has like a very flair about her. Like she's very strong. She's very sure of herself. When she's as She-Hulk, as Jennifer Walters, she's a little bit bumbling. She's not very assertive. But the She-Hulk persona really lets her fly and take off. I'm not saying they're not going to pursue that in this show. I'm pretty sure they're going to put those very same nuances of her inside of this. But like again, that's my problem with the trailer was like it didn't look as visually stunning as for the character as I wanted it to be. But that could just be me putting She-Hulk on a pedestal. Like I will admit that. Yes, comfy. I'm looking forward to seeing Quantum Leap also. What do I think of the Bel Air series? I only got to watch the first episode, and what I saw on the first episode alone, it blew my mind. Bel Air really changed the narrative of that story, and like this also goes back into reboots and retellings. Like it really changed the narrative of the story, but it also gave it more depth. And for the 90s, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air itself already had that kind of depth. And to add more depth into it, with drug use, with elitism, with breaking boundaries, with death threats, with racial and inward racial crime, like we're putting all that inside of it, and like in a scope that we all know in our society today, but put it like without like the studio audience, without like the corny la la la, like at the end of each episode, like to put like the realness to it, the way that they did it, with characters that we already recognize and know. Again, 1 episode in, all I got, but like to see that, to get that feel for it, that was impressive. Like, and the fact that it's getting renewed and is like the most streamed show shows that like not all reboots and remakes are, as a lot of people keep saying, like terrible. Like it's not, they're not bad. They're not all trying to stop using this word, but like they're not all like pandering to an audience. They're not all pedantic when it comes like to getting like a new audience like to take part in the story. Like it's stories that we already know about, but retold, which also goes back again to getting public domain characters and having them like in stories of characters that we're not too familiar with. Because like we're in a new age, like just introducing a character and like in hoping it sticks, it doesn't work the way it used to. So giving us something that we do know that is familiar, but painting it as this is the character you guys need to be paying attention to. But like here's the character you guys know. Won't you guys take notice? Comfy Cozy just says like, no, you're right. I think the CGI is weak, and pertaining to She-Hulk. They have time to work on it. I replied on Twitter. It's like it is like the Sonic thing. It will get fixed, and more time editing finalizing the story. Like she also agrees like that. This is similar to like the Sonic iteration of a lot of fans not liking what Sonic was looking like, and they fixed the problem. And like now, Sonic is one of like the highest selling video game movies ever because fans like demanded for something different. Main theme of Bel Air was black excellence, and I'm all here for it. I do think that was the main theme, but like I do like the subtext that it was showing us. It was showing us like how black excellence can also come with elitism, like how you can be too high on the perch that you don't see the world for what it is. You don't see like the black struggle. I think I heard some spoilers about the show, which is I'm about to tell you all, is that I think Umville was having an affair inside the story. Carlton was doing drugs. I think Hillary was a mean girl. Like so, they put like a lot more nuance into those stories and those characters, and really made you identify with those characters. Like in a sense that like I've seen that. I've seen people like that. Not even so much if it's not like, you know, not who you are. Like they are. Again, if you haven't watched Bel Air, worth to watch. Definitely go check it out. I think I got time for let you know to watch this show, Strange New Worlds. Oh my goodness, this second episode. Whoo! If you guys are not watching Star Trek Strange New Worlds, it is the new Enterprise, which is not called Enterprise. Like this is good. If you like Star Trek, this is good. Like them focusing on Uhura on the second episode and like how they went about that. Like you get to see Uhura just being a joyful kid, and being a cadet and working on this ship where it's really intimidating, and like she's like a genius class person, and like you get to see this with no prejudice, with no bigotry, and like it's fluid. Like you can relate to it. Like it's definitely like if you haven't watched this, man, like this show is something else. Only second episode in, and I am sold. Like dead sold. Like I am biased. I'm a big Star Trek person, so like anything Star Trek, I'm usually here for it. But definitely check out this show. Definitely check it out. I haven't read this yet, but if you guys go check out Yo a Nerd, he does not stop talking about Fox and his new claim of the mantle Batman, and I Am Batman issue 9. From what I've been understanding, does not let down. It is Tim or Jace Fox doing his thing as Batman, and you really get to see a whole different narrative of like how a Batman who doesn't have the wealth, a Batman who doesn't have like the technology, a Batman who doesn't have all those gadgets and gizmos, and how he protects the city of Gotham, or a different city adjacent to Gotham. I think he's in New York. I think that's where this Batman is. It's in New York, and it works. It works. It shuts off the narrative that people say about well, Batman can't do this because X, Y, and Z. Batman's too rich. It has none of those stigmas with this Batman. So if you're still reading comic books, if you want something new to check out, let's say give it a look. It'll be a dick move. I didn't talk about the Blood Syndicate season 1. Milestone doing its thing. You got Hardware. You got Icon and Rocket. You got Static Shock. And now you got Blood Syndicate. Milestone is doing things. People keep talking about how I want to see more black people in comic book. Here it is. More black people in comic book. And it's a part of one of the big 2 comic book companies. And like, you know, Milestone is in its own universe. So there you go. Like you can't really say anything. Like you just can't. And I'll leave you all with this. Some joy. Because we can all use some joy. The world is a wild and crazy place right now. It's never going to be what we want it to be. Especially if we don't keep on trying for it. I am D of FTO Nerd Talk. I appreciate you guys joining me on this. It's a little bit different than what I'm used to doing when it comes to these. And I appreciate your time and you sharing that with me. If you want me to make this a regular thing and me coming on like on certain days around 5, staying on for half an hour, just rattling out my news, I can do that. Instead of doing it around midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning. I can come on around 5 in the afternoon, talk to you guys about the news, and just we can just have fun, just kick it, just talk about the latest topics that are out there. But keep an eye out for Milestone. Be well, be safe. I hate to keep saying that to all my people out there, but like I keep your head in a swivel. The crazy are going to crazy, but we gotta keep our eyes out for each other. My heart goes out to people in Buffalo. May the people who lost their lives rest in peace. Roe versus Wade been overturned. It's a horrible thing. We gotta. It's a lot more things I can keep on talking about. The debt crisis, the housing crisis, inflation, gas prices, all that is. What about Hard Talks? What about Hard Talks? Hard Talks is on hiatus still. Got me scratching my face talking about this. It'll be back. I promise you, it'll be back. Because all these topics I just brought up need to be talked about. But just kind of decompress a bit from Hard Talks. It can be taxing after a while talking about hard topics and trying to keep your sanity and going strong with it. It's you're not the only person who asked me about it, Charles. I gotta let you you're the only person who reminds me that Hard Talks need to come back. I appreciate like the love. I really do. Thank you guys for all this. Enjoy your days. Hope your days go well. Tell your family you love them, even if they bother you. Just keep doing you guys. All you artists, all you creators out there, keep going strong. Your work is needed. We all see it. Even if you don't get the likes you want, we're here to enjoy it. So this is me. This is my sign out. I'm going to post this on my podcast. Probably later on tonight. Probably some other time throughout the week. Make sure you guys listen up for Your Nerd and I doing a review on Comic Point, talking about 2 comic books, and we also talk about the DCEU and everything inside of it. So enjoy. Until next time, take it easy. Hey guys, D here of FTO Nerd Talk. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, tell your friends about FTO Nerd Talk. Got a lot of different shows for all of you. Make sure you tune in every week for a brand new episode. Take it easy.